So this is the last little chapter of how are you going to be able to have all this little final little things like the effects, as we're going to see right now, the background, and the camera will be a specific one right after, because I have a lot that I want to go through in cameras in terms of composition, in terms of the shot values, the emotional values, the composition, the cutting between the shots, and all these kind of things that are going to be important. But yeah, to be able to get to something like this, so where we go to the side view of the shot to getting to this kind of final product, what we need is a few things. As you can see here, I'm putting a little bit of like dust on the ground. I'm also putting some effects on the swords in here. There is also the background in the back. There is also the hardware fog in there, and obviously the camera that creates all this kind of very dynamic motion on top of just having it like this. So the camera will be next, but right now let's focus on what we do to get these kind of things in there. So the first thing will be to add, for example, a little something on the floor. No, let's start with the hardware fog. So I have my my background here, and what I do is I go to shading here, hardware fog. Okay, in the hardware fog here, what you can do is you can basically making it finish a lot further, so you can go to maybe 3000, and so like that you have the sorry, not 300, 3000. Up. So like that you see the opportunity to go a little bit more. You can also change the color of it here, so something a little more blue, something like this. By the way, this is the side view, that I was using earlier. Here too, you can do your shading and hardware fog if you want to see it like this. I think it helps in seeing something a bit nicer in there. So then in terms of, creating the things on the floor, like here, I wanted to see, it doesn't feel like you see this feels very, very bright. And I wonder why. Yeah, the log is a bit too, maybe the Unity. Yeah, I like the Unity, I think. Normally I use the, yeah, Unity here is not bad. And also making sure that you have the anti-aliasing in there. I think it would be a bit better. You see like that it's a little less flashy. All right. So how do you create those things on the feed? So what I do in general is I create some, in the create here, I create some free image plane. Okay, so that free image plane in there, I'm gonna add in general the 2D effects. So I put a link as well with some 2D effects that you can find online. I have some in my resources in here, and I'm going to use some, it's explosion, I think 13. Let me try to show you. No, it's not this one, it's this one. So I'm going to use, no, is this 13 actually. I'm going to use this. Okay, so it creates a bit of dust. And I'm going to show you how to use that. So again, I've shared with you a link where you can actually download some. What you do is you go in your attribute editor here onto your ref plane, and you're going to bring these guys in there. So I go, oops, not sorry, in the resources, the 2D explosion, this one, and I go use image sequence. So right now, when you do it, you can see you have in the ref plane down there this kind of movement. So I'm gonna, for example, I like when my feet here slides, I would like for it to be with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the ref plane, I'm gonna select my feet, is that the correct one? Yeah, and I'm gonna match it, snap it. Poof. So the ref plane here, the feet, and I wanna snap it in here. Okay, that's better. So now that I have this, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger, maybe not too much, and close to the feet like this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use ZV parent to parent it to the actual foot. So I'm gonna grab ZV parent here. That little tool that I shared with you, and you grab the ref plane, you grab the foot where you want to parent it to, and when you are parented, you go attach object. So like this, you can see that this actually goes with it right now and creates this kind of feeling of like. And what's cool with the parent is you can animate it, it won't change, you can make it lower if you want, like that, and you get this feeling of something there. And what you can do is even when you have a little one like this, you can actually do it again. So I think the whole animation here is from 1 to 20. Okay, so what you can do here is you can break the connection there. So you go break connection, and then you key select it, so it's at 1, and then at 20 here you go 20. Then you select this, and in here you make it linear. Like that, you have the same thing, but then you stay at 20, and then in here you can go at 1 again. So here you can put, sorry, a key in here at 1 again. Voilà. Up, even, sorry, even like this for this one. Just so, or this one. Yep. Voilà. And there, from there, it could go to 20 somewhere here. And it being up and linear. And there. You can see like that you have a little bit. Then when it lands here, same thing. I can even go Control C, Control V, up this one in stepped, and then getting a little bit of that. And same with here. When it lands in there, I can do Control C, Control V, this one in stepped, like that. And so like this, you can see I have a little bit on my leg in here. If it's too present, what you can do is just go to the attribute editor of this in the image plane, and I think in there you have in the alpha gain, you can make it less. So like this, you see it's transparent. Okay, then the other ones that I like to do is ones that are not parented. So what I do usually is I duplicate this one, okay, and for example, and I'm gonna delete. Okay, it didn't duplicate, or I'm not sure. Wait 1 second. So I select this. Let me see if we have multiple one. No, as we have only one. And I'm gonna go Control D on this one, and I'm gonna take it out of there, so it's not parented at all. But it stays parented. I don't understand. It's because it's still in there. Sorry, I was like, what's going on? Or it doesn't want to. Oh yes, there we go. Okay, so now it's staying on the spot. Okay, and the reason why I want to make it so when she jumps here, there is a big one in there. I need to go use image sequence just so that there is one, and we're gonna make it here start. So same thing, I can actually just go break connection in there, just make it to 1 in here, and you go like 46 to 66, and here you go key selected and 20. So like this, you know it's in 20 frame. You can make it faster, you know, since it's on 2s. Actually, these you can go faster if you want to, but like this, it will work. And you can see that now when it jumps, you get that. It's a little late, 1, 2, maybe. But you see it doesn't go with the feet, it stays on the floor. And yeah, maybe it can go a lot faster in there. So, and it's not placed perfectly. And you can, and this one I would duplicate, and here when it lands and it goes, I would do like a big one, like, and same thing, I would key select it here at 20, I would key here at 1, and making this linear, and so it will happen later somewhere around here, and it goes let's make it right in the middle of where she lands, right there. And let's make this one, you see, less visible. We can make it even maybe a little bit bigger, a bit more down. So like that you see the animation on them. And I would do as well on the other feet, like the first feet that I did. So you have both feet and this. To me, the 2D effects like these, they can help you really in bridging that little bit of life into there. So for the swords, what did I use? So as you've seen, there is the link to actually download this sword swipe. So it's a very cool little script. So what you do is you create a locator. Okay, so you create first a locator here. That locator, you're gonna snap it to the blade here. So the blade, you can select it. Actually, I'm gonna snap it to the control here. Okay, so I selected the locator, then the control, and I go snap. So now the locator is here, and I'm gonna make it slightly higher into there. And then, oops. And then I'm gonna control D it, so I duplicate it, and I'm gonna move it up to the end of the blade there. Okay, so those are my two locators. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna parent them, those locators, to the sword. So I grab the sword, I grab the locator one, and I go constrain parent. And I grab the sword, and I grab the locator, the second one, and I go constraint parent. I'm going to do the same for the other one. It doesn't take that much time. Okay, so let's do it again like that. You will see. So you grab the locator, you grab this, and you go snap. It snaps the locator there. You move it up, and you do Control D. You duplicate the locator that you put at the tip of the blade. Then the locator 3, you select first the blade, then the locator 3, and you go constraint parent, and you select the blade and the locator 4, and you go constraint parent. And then after, what you want in here is going to be to define the locator. So you select first the bottom, then the top, and you click in here. So it defines the two objects. So in here, the start frame is at 1, the end frame is at 85. So I'm going to put the end frame at 85 in there. For the rest, I leave it about what it is. And I'm going to name it swipe A, and it's going to create a shader, and I'm going to go create sword swipe. Oh, I started at 10. I wanted to start at 0. Let's keep it running through, and I'll come back right when it's done. While it renders, I want to show you a few of the things that some of the students that I've had in the classes with me at iAnimate has done in terms of pushing, you know, like the camera, the effects, the hardware fog, a bit of rendering, etc., etc. So you can see as well putting a little bit of music, sound effects, like on these things, or there. Here you can see as well there is like those kind of dynamic lines, also the bullets, this. Here the smear on the blade, which cuts, create this kind of thing. And all these are 2D plates, 2D effects on top of it. So it's really kind of creating, you know, this kind of nice, and all of these, they have this kind of same thing with the background. You see the camera movement around, a little bit of a sound, and all those kind of smears and movements on them. All these has to be done when you're fully finished with all your animation to really plus it and to make this kind of like cool little things like effects, etc. So don't hesitate to really grab those 2D effects and to add these to your scenes. Let's take a look of what it looks like when we have all the things in there. So what you get is those big swipes, that goes around. So there is to me, I have two swipes right now in the scene. I have the swipe C and the swipe A, and you can see how they were created. And in here, you can go to, in the attribute editor, to the actual shader of these guys in there. And where is it? Wait, I think I selected two things. Is the matte swipe in here, and you can actually make it more transparent in here by adding it fully white in there. Okay, because if not, when you have it at the beginning, it's kind of opaque, but like this, you can get the kind of the end being not as opaque. There we go. It just finished on there, but you get this, and so you can after rework and things. Voilà for the help and to create this kind of cool stuff. And then we're gonna see how we do this kind of camera animation in there. Okay, so we'll work on the camera in the coming thing. See you soon. Bye bye.